Hello, this is a reading for anyone seeking love with the divine feminine energy. So I do this reading as a pick a card, so go ahead and pick a number between 1 and 4. I will let you know the element associated with each number as we go through. So if you do know someone's element through their sun sign or through the dominance in their chart, you can also go with this to clarify for yourself. And this reading's fine for anyone in an existing relationship. You can also go by the element or do the pick a card option. I will be looking at what you're attracted to first and foremost, and probably the lesson you're going to get through that attraction. I will look at what they're attracted to and what they find not as attractive. I will also look at the harmony, potential disharmony, and the greatest area for bonding in this relationship, potentially. So this reading's for, when it's published, it can go up to a month afterwards or whenever you happen upon it. I have been doing these about once every 2 weeks, but I may only be doing them monthly in the future. I'm not quite sure yet. So I am going to clear the energy here and ask for my higher self to come in, connected to divine source, to give us the messages that we need. While I do this, feel free to mentally or verbally chant Om and also connect to your higher self that's connected to source. We're burning some essential oils as well in the theme of the forest. So lots of different tree scents to assist me as well. So if you picked number 1, this could be an air sign. And I see them sort of in that energy, a little bit feisty maybe even, and threatening, or at least that's how you're perceiving them. This could be just a defense mechanism on their behalf. You may be actually drawn into a conflict with them, or at least be kind of taunted into that, or you may feel like a reactionary spirit when you're engaging with this individual. I see that they notice you, but they may not be looking at you right now as a potential love interest. This may not be what they are actually actively seeking right now. They may have had quite a bit of independence lately. And, this notion of love could be the furthest thing from their mind. They look like they've been active, though, like they've probably put a lot of effort into their physicality, into just maintaining themselves and trying to just have a sense of life's in motion type of thing. I see that you find them very alluring, though, because of their physicality, and almost this acrobatic thing that they could have going. They may have a sport or something they do that involves movement that could be fairly mesmerizing for you in whatever way, in some sort of activity. And I get a sense that it's because it's kind of different to your nature that you find that attractive. You may be more of a grounded person. Okay, if you picked number 2, this could be a water sign. Now, this person may not necessarily be available. They may have someone that they are linked to, but maybe not really equally linked with. Maybe it's through a marriage already or some other form of commitment. Or they may just be very spiritual and devoted to that and giving themselves to that and not necessarily realize how much of that is consuming their availability. They may actually think that they are available, but you may kind of see them as overly involved in something else. Now, whatever may have their attention or be occupying a lot of their space could seem intimidating to you, could seem confusing and not really of your nature or your background or something. And because of this, it may produce a little bit of fear in you, some suspicion. And they may also have that towards you as far as how do you weigh into their cosmology. Are you like-minded enough? Do you appreciate and gravitate towards the same things? Is there compatibility? Whatever is going on, I see that you find them highly alluring and tempting, but you're not quite sure if you want to take the chance to have everything else that goes along with them be part of the deal. Now, if you picked number 3, Earth sign, this person is in their power. They take very good care of themselves. They may be concerned about issues with the land, with animals, being protective about them, the guardianship, the stewardship of the natural world, especially for areas that are not healthy, restoring the energies, especially, let's see, deforestation comes to mind here. You may see them as fairly impassioned, but a tempered way of being impassioned, like just enough. It's not overboard. It's enough to make it feel sensual still. You may find them a little bit restricted, though. They may have a sense of duty again, of overcommitment, almost like a self-bondage to their own priorities. I do see that you have their attention, though they may be kind of suspicious of you and, ready to dismiss anything that isn't of value to them. And by that, I don't mean just physically, but that doesn't share something that connects with them, especially in their mind, not so much emotionally. Now, if you picked number 4, this could be an air sign. So you may find this person to have a fairly dualistic nature. This could very much be a Gemini energy here. And even if they possess a few different modes of being, you're not quite convinced that either one of those is compatible. You may find some things physically not as enticing about them, just as much as you do. So you may like parts of them, and then other parts you may feel not as attracted to. They may have a background, even a person that they're associated with. A mother comes to mind that you may find overbearing and threatening, or just a history that seems to be unresolved, issues that could be lingering in the past, that because they have been not dealt with for quite some time, that they've grown to a almost insurmountable level. And you may see them denying this and not wanting to take command of anything like this. But yet you just can't help being attracted. We can't help who we fall in love with. And I think it's one of those scenarios that even if you see the red flags, you're still smitten, you're still enticed. And this goes beyond the physical. There's a certain mystique, I think, to this individual that promises some type of like magnetic, like the chemistry's there, the charge is there. Like you want to explore this person's mindscape and what kind of mystery they kind of project about themselves. Now, what I see as far as what they find attractive about you is that you may have a hobby or something of special interest that you're very dedicated to. It may have quite a history to it. You may have some interesting equipment that you have accumulated about it. And they may actually really enjoy what you're interested in, even if they don't share the same idea or hobby or whatever. They genuinely like what you're into. And I think that they enjoy that you are not ashamed to show it and talk about it. Maybe it's kind of a silly subject or something that just doesn't seem to suit you necessarily. It can be kind of quirky compared to how you may show yourself most of the time. This may be, a private project or something that you do at night even. And I think that they enjoy that side of you, basically. Now, when we look at what they might find not as attractive about you, you may have a very strong sense of empowerment, and you may be very stable and aligned and seem to have everything together, very organized. And for some people that can be threatening if their lives are a little bit messy and chaotic and, just raw. You may seem very well put together. Everything's so cohesive that they may find that just kind of difficult to deal with. Maybe there isn't a lot of drama, and they're used to drama. They're used to that energy that comes from the excitement and the not knowing. And this level of calm and focus that you have may somehow just be strange to them, and they may not quite know how to feel with it, like resonate basically with it. Now, when I look at the relationship itself, what may be harmonious about it is that there may be a certain level of innocence that you both see within one another that is classical in a way, that goes to another era, that transports you somewhere else, that speaks back to a time when things were done with a certain type of protocol that both of you might respect a little bit more. And it could be kind of a love language that develops with you, a way of being in secret and in private that you find very endearing, developing your own type of world, your own type of language, and it doesn't have to fit into what expectations are of the modern moment here. You may also have a way of communicating with one another that may be exceptional. You may inspire one another in that way and really be able to speak from the depths of your soul to one another. Now, what may be not as harmonious about this is that one person or both people could be misunderstood. They could be seen as a cliche, as representing a a set of beliefs that the other person doesn't necessarily understand fully, misunderstands even, and that the messages, the iconography, the symbolism, the lifestyle around this is so taboo that it may feel threatening, and you may also see it as attracting the wrong kind of attention that you'd have to associate in crowds that you don't want to be part of. Like the friend base of this person may not be ideal. Now, when I look at your greatest potential for bond, this is one of the happiest cards I've ever seen. And I'm going to lift it up. Maybe we can have you get a really good look at the detail on that. And it's the lovers swinging here. I mean, how joyful. So you may enjoy just some simple pleasures in the outdoors together, going to a park, going to the beach, playing, just being in the moment, and not having any expectations, and taking each other for who you are in that moment, and releasing any issues with identity and shoulda, woulda, couldas, and pressure. There's a beautiful sense of relaxation, connectivity, and sensualness that comes through, as well as vulnerability. And the vulnerability that doesn't make anyone feel taken advantage of. It's an equal sharing of vulnerability. And I see a great potential for a strong love here, and plenty of emotional depth as well to this relationship. So good things are abound here. I'm feeling it. I hope that this has served you. I want to send you prayers and blessings, and wishing you all the best. Please take care.